Hello students, in this video I'm going to discuss different ways of defining a function and calling them. But before moving ahead, I want you all to please watch my previous videos of functions in Java so that you could understand it better. Now students, first way of calling a function, here you just see different ways of defining a function. So here a function that returns nothing and has no arguments. This is the simplest form of function definition. So when the function returns nothing, the return type is always void, and the name of the function I have taken sum, and parenthesis empty where we can pass some argument, but here no arguments or parameters are required, so it's empty. A student's function is always kept inside a class definition. So here you can see class cal I have written. It started the class definition, then inside that there is a function definition, and now the beginning of the function definition with this opening curly brace of that function. So this opening brace belongs to this function, this opening brace belongs to the class. Students, here I've taken two variables of int type. So int a comma b are there. A is initialized with 5, b is initialized with 9, and it's all terminated with a semicolon. All right. Now students, what is going to be printed on the screen? The target is, or the objective of this function is to print the sum of two numbers 5 and 9, and these numbers are stored in the variable a and b. So we will add a and b here. Expression is a plus b. So what we write here, we write the Java printing statement, that is system.out.println. Inside that parenthesis is there, and inside that I have written in double quotes sum is. This is the message on the screen, plus a plus b. So a plus b is the expression, so it will give us the sum of a and b, that is going to be 14, as a is 5 and the b is 9, so 14 will be there. After that we close the definition of the function. After that, students, we move to the second function, that is void call. This is another function definition, but what this function is doing, it is simply calling the sum function which is up there. You can see here sum function is being called through this function call. So this is the function definition and this is the function call for sum. Now students, when this function is being called, so we don't have to do anything much while calling this function, because it's not returning anything and it is not having any argument also. So we just write the name of the function, that is sum, and arguments are not there, so empty parenthesis is there. All right. Students, please take care of the case sensitivity if the sum is given in all our small letters. So here also sum function call, all letters or alphabets or characters are going to be small. All right. Now students, after that I've told you and described one very important method, that how to call a member function of a class using the object of that class. So that's what we are going to do in this main function. So public static void main string args is the main function header. Then inside the main body, what is there? The creation of object ob. How it's been created? Using the name of the class. So that is class name, cal class name, and then ob is the object name, assignment operator, new, and then cal parenthesis semicolon. So this cal which is written here, that is a student constructor. So we'll have another video for constructor also. And what you notice here, that name of the constructor and name of the class are same. All right. After that, students, using this object ob, we can call or invoke the function sum. So in the previous example, I have just called the function using its name, parenthesis, and semicolon. But now this time I have to call the function upon the object. So I have written ob.sum parenthesis semicolon. Yes, this is a very, very important line. Please practice it well. So this is the first type of function definition and its different ways of calling. Now students, second method I move to. Now second form is a function that has argument. This time I have introduced one argument to the function definition, but still it returns nothing. So obviously return type will be void. Okay. So here you can see class cal. I picked up the same class name, and inside that class definition there is a function sq. It is there to calculate the square of the number, which is being passed through this parenthesis, or it's an argument. And students, whenever an argument is mentioned in the function definition, what do we call it? We call it formal argument. And student, public void sq int n. Inside this int v equal to n asterisk n. So n into n means product of n is going to be stored in the v. And after that, students, square of, that is going to be printed on the screen, plus n, so n's value will be printed because there is a number whose square has been calculated, then is, and then plus v. Students, v contains the result or the square of the number. So suppose I pass the number 2 from here, so 2 into 2, that will be 4, so 4 will be stored in the v. So message on the screen is going to be square of 2 is 4. As simple as that. So after this function definition, students, I'm going to tell you how this function will be called. So very simple, because only the name of the function is going to be written, but this time a parameter is going to be there because I need the square of a number or integer to be calculated. So students, I have chosen the number 4 which has been passed through this function. Alright, so this is the actual argument. So whenever an argument is specified in the function call, it is called actual argument. So what will happen here, this actual argument is going to be copied here in the formal argument, and finally 4 into 4, 16 will be stored in the v. So message on the screen is going to be square of 4 is 16. Alright, students, after that we move to the main function. What is there in the main function? In the main function we create the object of this class. So we have cal obj equal to new cal parenthesis semicolon, and after that, students, we call sq function which is there. So I have to just write the name of the object before the function name, and in between there is dot. Alright, and in the parenthesis I have passed this time, what I passed 5. So this time square will be printed on the screen, that is going to be 25. So that is again actual parameter or actual argument. I hope everybody has understood it well. Please do write all these examples in your copy on the system and practice it again and again. Alright, okay. Now students, after that there is a third way. You can see here function that returns. This time the return type is not going to be void. That will be some other data type of Java, but it will not be void, because some values to be returned, and its nature or type of that data will decide what will be the return type of the function. Students, all the examples I have kept simple just so that you could relate what is happening. So your focus must be more upon the how such functions are defined and called, instead of thinking about the logic much. Alright, so very simple codes I have taken this time. So it has a return type and has one argument. Now the function is different, it has return type also and it has got argument as well. So now class cal again, and here I have again calculated the square of the number just passed here. So sqintn, that was in the previous example also. Public is the access specifier, but this time instead of void we have written what? We have written int. Now I have taken another variable here inside the function definition, that is r. It is of int type, and r contains the product of n and n. So n asterisk n is there, so definitely that is square of n. And finally the result is going to be stored in the r, and this r is going to be returned outside the function. So return r is written. Alright, so this time this is not being printed through a function, it is being returned. Now how does it work? How to call? We have got this function call which is going to call sq function. So sq has been called here, we have passed the actual argument 5. Now I have written this ints on the left side of the function call. Reason is that it's going to return a value. Which value? The square of this number, that is 25. 25 is of which type? int. So that 25 will be stored in s here. It's going to be stored in s. So s will hold that value which has been returned, through this function call. And after that we can write square is s. So square is will be written as it is, and s will print its value. Students, after that there is a main function where we'll create the object of the cal class. So cal ob equal to new cal, and after that ints equal to ob.sq. In the parenthesis I have passed 5. So finally students, the square is what's going to be printed? It's going to print 25. Alright, so I have given both the examples here. Whichever is required, you will apply the concept that way. Alright students, now after that, next way, but before that, you need to understand syntax for function call that returns the data as and has return type. That means, right, that returns the data. तो ये मैंने इसीलिए that syntax I have given here, that I've shown you in the previous example, that a square was being returned and that value was being stored into a variable. So what do you have to do in such situations? Write data type, name of the variable, assignment operator, function call is there, means name of the function is to be specified, then in the parentheses arguments are there. So I've written this in short, that is args. Alright, so that is nothing but argument. It can be one argument or more than one argument. Okay, it's clearly written here. Students, after that we have a function that returns the data, that means has return type and has more than one argument. Earlier it was returning the data in one argument, now there are two arguments. Now here you see class cal again I have taken, then public int, return type is there because the data is to be returned is of int type. It performs the sum of two integers, so definitely the result will also be of int type. So it has to be returned, that's why I have taken the data type int over here. And then add is the function, and then inside this two arguments a and b, and both are of type int type, and students here return a plus b. So now sum will be returned. So I hope everybody has got the clear idea of it. After that, students, public static void main is string args. Now cal ob equal to new cal object has been created, then intr equal to add 2 3. Two actual parameters are there, so the control will be transferred to this function add, and a and b will have the value which is being passed through this function. So a will become 2 and it will have 3, and finally 2 plus 3, that means 5 is going to be returned. That is the int type value. Return type here you can see int type. Students, after that this result is going to be stored in R. So whatever has been returned, what's been returned here, 5. So 5 will be stored in R, and then what do we write here, sum is R. So 5 will be printed, sum is 5. Alright everyone, I hope everybody has understood it well. Please do practice. Thanks everyone.